okay. But when you find someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo.
Going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time Canelo beats him.
Canelo fired back at Terence Crawford during the press conference, saying Crawford isn't at his level. He criticized fighters who just try to last all 12 rounds instead of giving fans an exciting and competitive fight. Canelo believes playing it safe makes for boring matches and lets down the audience expecting a real showdown. Kell Brook, who has faced top names like Gennady Golovkin and Terence Crawford, also shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight. He warned that this clash will be a whole new test for Crawford. According to Brook, Canelo fights in a way that's totally different from anyone Crawford has faced. While Crawford is shorter and relies more on speed and skill, Canelo mixes power, smart strategy, and adaptability, making him a whole different kind of challenge.
It's a wow. It's a wow fight, Two supreme athletes fighting against each other, but you've got to sway towards Canelo. Crawford's gonna have to, move up, and I know when I boxed Golovkin, there's a big difference, especially with someone that, fighting a middleweight, a mediocre world champions, it's okay. But when you're fighting someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo, but, Crawford's very, very, very good.
You think Crawford's still got the legs? Obviously, he's very much got great IQ in the.
Brook pointed out that Canelo's ability to adjust during the fight and take control physically makes things tough for any opponent. Facing a strong and versatile fighter like Canelo takes a completely different level of focus and preparation. Brook said that Canelo's style gives him a clear edge and warned Crawford that this won't be like any of the fighters he's faced in the past.
He's still got the legs to be maybe outmoving Canelo if he needs to.
Well, I don't know, I think when we look back at Mayweather when he beat Canelo, he's a mover. Crawford's not really like Mayweather in that aspect. It's like he's more, he kind of sets his feet and he's cute with how he approaches, chucking shots and moving. You know what I mean? I think it's a different fight to Mayweather, and Canelo's obviously a different fighter from when he boxed Mayweather. But like I say, it's one of them what we've got to tune into and watch. Both unbelievable fighters, but I'd have to favour Canelo. Just his size and his experience and just his ring generalship, he's got.
Veteran commentator Jim Lampley has expressed strong belief that Canelo Álvarez will come out on top against Terence Crawford. While he acknowledged Crawford's impressive talent and record, Lampley highlighted Canelo's experience, strength, and mental toughness as key advantages. He noted that Canelo's track record of beating elite opponents across several weight classes gives him the upper hand. According to Lampley, Canelo's ability to control the pace and space in the ring lets him set the tone of the fight, which he sees as a major factor. He also pointed out that Canelo's solid defense and sharp counterpunching could limit Crawford's offense. In the end, Lampley believes Canelo's all-around skill set gives him the edge, even against someone as skilled as Crawford.
He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. There's only one official knockdown in his career, and it was because he bounced off the ropes when Jose Cotto hit him with a hard shot to the chest. And the referee employed a strict interpretation of the rules and said, oh, the ropes held you up, so that's a knockdown. He's never been put on his back by anybody. He rides horseback every morning. His legs are the strongest in the sport. You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time Canelo beats himself. If he gets tired of all the discipline he has had to employ to make all the money he's made, if he has enough giant ranches in the Yucatan, if he has enough beautiful horses, if he has had enough unforgettable dinners with Mexican billionaires in Mexico City and Vegas, then maybe. But my guess is he will retire without incurring another loss because it's important to him to do that.
Which implies you like him against Bud Crawford.
I do like him against Bud Crawford, but I do think that it's a great fight. Now, I could change my mind when we get closer. Bud Crawford, to me, is a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the multiple skills of Sugar Ray Robinson. He can defend or attack. He has a deep inner mean streak that he can employ at any moment in a fight to get what he wants. Before the fight against, help me now here,
Madrimov was his last fight. Spence?
Spence.
Yes.
Before the fight against Errol Spence, there were quite a lot of people in the sport, in boxing media, who were saying, I like Spence to win the fight. I was one of those people who said, no way. Errol Spence doesn't have...
Terence Crawford's career clearly shows his talent and achievements. He's proven himself with top-level boxing skills, power, and the ability to adjust in the ring, earning his spot among the best in the sport. However, there's a gap between how experts and casual fans view his style. While those in the boxing world respect his technique and strategy, the general public often prefers more aggressive and flashy fighters. Crawford fights with careful planning, mixing solid defense with sharp counters and smart pressure. Though this approach works well, it's sometimes seen as less exciting because it doesn't always deliver the non-stop action many fans want. As a result, a lot of people don't fully recognize or value just how skilled Crawford really is.
On the other hand, he has been walking down his fighters, and people don't see that but me. For some reason, when I had that tape, people were screaming "Cap," and it's like David Evanezian, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Gamboa, a mean machine. Even against Madrimov, the way he won the fight was by fighting. It wasn't Floyd Mayweather sticking. This guy has been too athletically gifted, and I mean explosive, hard punching, and too strong for his ops. When he's in orthodox, he boxes more. When he switched, he becomes a puncher. And now he's coming out southpaw. He ends you. He is not... You gotta watch him fight. He does do athletic things where his hands and his feet work together, and he catches you for sure. But what he mostly do is he punishes and he bullies his op because he walks you down and whips your ass. He's an ass.
Boxing analyst Bomac offers a different take, acknowledging Canelo's strengths but stressing that Crawford's technical abilities give him the advantage. He agrees that Canelo is an elite fighter, but says Crawford's accuracy, speed, and control in the ring set him apart. Bomac points to Crawford's strong mindset and intense preparation, noting that he always enters the ring focused and ready. This mental sharpness, paired with his polished skills, helps Crawford control the pace and outsmart his opponents. While Canelo's power and experience make him a serious threat, Bomac believes Crawford's strategy and technical edge could be the deciding factors, especially if he sticks to his plan. His view highlights that this fight may be more about brains and tactics than just raw power.
Fight with Canelo Álvarez. It was interesting to see the comments from Canelo and how he sort of assessed Bud Crawford's career. I almost feel after the Spence fight that was like an exclamation point on everything he's done, maybe from the critics who never gave him credit, but it almost seems like Canelo was downplaying his achievements. What do you make of that? Is that to build a fight? Because it sold itself.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think Crawford rebuttal was everybody always say he hasn't fought nobody, or everybody that he fought was a no name. But I'm gonna tell you like this: what Crawford said. Well, they was something until Crawford fought him. So obviously he's doing a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
Not everyone, like when they go against Canelo, I don't think there's anyone else in boxing who you would ask and say this is a possible task for Crawford because of his pound-for-pound abilities. And apparently no rehydration clause. Am I hearing that right? He wants full smoke at that weight.
Let's go, man. That's what Crawford wants. He wants to show the world that he's the best. So, hey, why put stipulations in there when you know that you can be the best? So let's go test ourselves.
Well, I appreciate you taking this time. We don't get to speak all the time, so it's good to get you over here. And maybe we'll catch up later in fight week. But I appreciate you. Thank you.
Canelo Alvarez's business manager, who is well known for overseeing one of the richest careers in boxing, made strong remarks about Canelo's physical strengths before the fight with Crawford. He pointed out that Canelo's body is specially built to take hits and avoid serious damage, a quality that makes him stand out from most fighters in the sport.
That Crawford didn't get any ideas from Skull. I don't think he did. I think Crawford is a hell of a fighter, and it's going to be a hell of a fight.
How does weight play a part in that fight?
Oh, what?
How does weight play a part in that fight, do you feel?
Weight?
Weight. The size difference.
Oh, no, I don't think that, that doesn't, like you saw today, the guy was like, I don't know how much taller. He didn't really play into it either. But Crawford is a hell of a fighter. And you saw today when they did the face-off in the ring, they're virtually height-wise, they are virtually the same. Crawford might even be a little bit taller. But when you look at Canelo, the way he's built, his legs, his shoulders, his neck, that is why he's never been hurt. And he's never been hurt fighting fighters at a substantially higher weight, substantially bigger than him, and they still couldn't hurt him.
Yeah.
And then you look at Crawford, who is a smaller guy, is moving up 2 weight classes, tried at 154, barely won, couldn't hurt Madrimov, and now he's going to go against the guy with the best chin in the sport. That's why probably odds maker have Canelo as a favorite. But having said all of that, Crawford is just a hell of a fighter. I was there when he fought, I was ringside when he fought.
According to Canelo's manager, his conditioning, muscle build, and sharp defense have helped him avoid serious damage, even against powerful opponents. This toughness is seen as a key strength that could make a big difference against Crawford, who is considered smaller and less physically dominant. The manager also brought up Crawford's recent fights to suggest that he may not have the physical strength needed to handle Canelo's strong frame and ability to absorb pressure.
The way he just totally neutralized Spence's strengths was absolutely, it was breathtaking to watch this. So Crawford is a very skilled fighter, very smart fighter, but again, he's never fought anybody like Canelo. You look at Canelo's resume. Canelo fought, now it's 21 former or current world champions. There's only 2 fighters in the history of boxing who have more than that. One of them is Floyd Mayweather with 24, and the other one is Manny Pacquiao with 23. And he's the only active fighter who fought so many world champions. So I think experience will play a big factor as well. You look at Canelo's resume, but it is, I think, the biggest fight that can be made. I think it's the biggest fight the sport has seen going back to as long as I can remember. I think it's just him. And I've done some big fights with Floyd Mayweather, and I did Floyd Mayweather and Canelo. I promoted that, so I think this one is bigger.
Analysts widely agree that Terence Crawford is a top-tier fighter with elite skills and sharp ring IQ. However, his upcoming fight brings new challenges, especially since he's moving up in weight to face Canelo, who is considered one of the greatest pound-for-pound boxers in history. Experts believe Crawford will stick to his proven strategy, as making big changes this late in his career, particularly in a heavier weight class, could backfire. His usual approach focuses on accuracy, counterpunching, and patience, and he's expected to rely on those strengths against Canelo. The challenge lies in adjusting to the added weight while going up against a bigger, more experienced opponent. Analysts say Crawford's success will depend on how well he can apply his usual game plan without pushing beyond his limits.
Was Terence Crawford going to beat Canelo Alvarez? We need to talk about it. When we look at the guys who've had success with Canelo, we'll look at Bivol, we'll look at Golovkin, we'll look at Floyd, and we'll look at Lara. Yes, I'll throw Lara in there, why not? I think all these fights are absolutely irrelevant coming into this bout. Some of them are just dated, or some of these guys' style just cannot apply. For example, a guy in Lara. If Crawford wanted to fight how Lara fought Canelo, he would probably gas out in 7 rounds, or if he made it 12, he just wouldn't get that decision. It's that simple. Let's take a guy in Golovkin. Crawford just simply does not have the punching power, nor do I think he has the gas tank at 68. He's not a good enough puncher to try to fight Canelo like Golovkin. He doesn't have the physical traits even in the chin department. Then you have Floyd Mayweather. While both can have a bit of similarities, the speed, reflexes, technical prowess, IQ, timing, counterpunching, lateral movement, it's just too much from Floyd. I don't think Bud could take much from Floyd's game plan to implement it into his own success in September. And then you have Dimitri, the speed, the technical prowess, the IQ, the length. is too much. So essentially, Terence Crawford is going to have to beat Canelo in a way that nobody has ever beaten him or gave him any issues in. I'm going to tell you exactly how Crawford's going to fight. He's going to fight like his damn self. It's too late in his career to change up the game plan. It's too late in his career for him to want to change up the game plan coming to a fight of this magnitude with a style he's never fought before. That will be a recipe for disaster. He's going to be more than likely off the back foot. He's going to be looking for counter shots. And I think there will be a point in this fight where he's simply just trying to survive. I like Crawford. He's an amazing pound-for-pound fighter. A different animal at 168. This is one of the greatest of all time. I see win scenarios for him, but I don't see him being realistic. I can see him fighting off the back foot, using his speed, timing, and feet to stay away from Canelo. But that's very, very, very unlikely. Damn it.
Nico Ali Walsh, a rising boxer and commentator, shared his thoughts on the fight, emphasizing how evenly matched it is. He noted that Crawford has recently been sparring with heavyweight fighters, showing he can hold his own against bigger opponents. This suggests that Crawford has trained specifically to deal with Canelo's size and strength. According to Walsh, this level of preparation makes the fight truly balanced, with both fighters having a real shot at winning. His take highlights the unpredictable and exciting nature of the matchup, as each fighter brings unique strengths that make it hard to call a clear favorite.
Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But, you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool. And I have so much belief in Bud. And I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything, you know, he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades. You can see it with his shadow box.
Legendary trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas offers a well-rounded view on the Canelo versus Crawford matchup. He recognizes Canelo's clear advantages in power, size, and physical strength, noting that these factors always play a big role in any fight. At the same time, he highlights Crawford's sharp technique, ring intelligence, speed, and determination as major strengths. Atlas sees the fight as a true battle of contrasting styles, raw physical force versus technical mastery. He points out that both fighters have the tools to win, and the key will be who sticks to and executes their game plan better on fight night. In Atlas's view, this is a genuine 50-50 fight, with strong reasons to back either side.
So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." You know, but who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter. Then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight. As a tight him, he's saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it, and he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's gonna say, "Well, after Madrimov fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher. You know, a unified champion that he's been. You know, all of that stuff. He's not gonna be able to handle it." I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, you know, who's going to be able, sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older. I get it.
That's it for today's video. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one.